Many of you, I'm sure, will remember that great day down in Avondale when we got together and we gathered and under the leadership of Richard Boyban Barrett and I had to say it. Anyway, it wasn't the first time. The first time I met up with Richard was at the anti-war in Parnell Square, and that was the first time we kind of hung out and had a bit of a yarn and sang a song. And then I met him at different times in different places, but that day down in Avondale was really special. And for the first time I met a man who's going to come along now and share his art with us. A man from the town of the Hanging Basket from Clonakilty. Wow. Would you put your hands together please for Dave Lordan.
Thanks a million. Cheers. My name's Dave Lordan. I'm in Richard's boy band as well. Yeah. Delighted to be here tonight. Christy's a hero to a lot of people. He's definitely a hero to mine. He's my favourite poet, I'll put it like that. And great to be supporting Richard, you know. Delighted to be supporting him. Life is a bit of a struggle, isn't it, sometimes? And sometimes all the time and sometimes not all the time, but I know what you mean. And we sometimes ask ourselves, or I do anyway, I'm one of these people that people are always saying, oh, why don't you calm down? Why don't you just relax? Why don't you just stop fighting, you know? And chill out, right? Those people kind of leave me pretty soon, but anyway. Okay, little poem called You Ask Me Why I Am Fighting. You ask me why I am fighting. I am fighting for my father and my mother, for my nanas, my granddads, my uncles and my aunts, none of whom were ever children, none of whom ever got a chance. I am fighting because I shelter the flame of their lost lives in the cup of my bare hands. I will not let it out. Thank you. When I was a kid, I was friends with a gentleman called Patrick Williamson who lived on the Moses Road, and he lived in a caravan and I lived in a house. And the caravan was over the road, the Hawkins side, and he would run down the road to school, you know, with his brothers and sisters. There was about 7 or 8 of them, and they kind of declined in size, so it was kind of ducks kind of a situation, you know what I mean? But they would be riding invisible horses, you know. Did you ever see the invisible horses in Clonakilty? You see them now, yeah? Yoo-hoo! Yeah, woo! Yoo-hoo! What tanto? Right? So this is about him. Invisible horses. You rode by every day on one of your invisible horses, making your way to school, or home from school, or wherever. The invisible horse I like to see you on the most was a mare of 16 hands, with hide river brown and dappled white and shimmering, the way the black water shimmers as it canters past, with the sunlight coming down on it in shreds like a tottering mirror through hollies and yew trees near Inishannon in a morning in winter. A long and pristine white mane fluttering at you like rapids, eyes like eels' mouths, hoofs that clattered tarmac Adam like any legendary steed. Tiny phantoms rose, then fell in the steam of your galloping heels. I remember your crazy mom as well. Your mother had a want in her that was bigger than her. Your mother was Ophelia withered and 10 times drowned. She kept getting drowned in the depths of the night and coming up soaked through in her charity rags to that never-ending racket of swear words and coughing and wheezes and snorts in the caravan dawn. Your mother was a voodoo doll. Everyone she ever met drew needles tipped with shame and hate and jabbed them into her. Your father was a paralytic and a shapeshifter. He'd weep with one eye open at the counter into bottled stout, swear contrition to the barman as if Georgie Best was on his deathbed confessing to St. Peter. Next night, he'd be a show band on a tour that never stopped. Another dipso sorcerer, burning up the dance floor lino in the Emmett Hotel, reshaping himself with the powers of the alcohol. He'd morph into badly toupeed Johnny Cash or creak-hipped Elvis. Your little brothers and your little sisters were skinny and pale and downcast and quiet and sometimes transparent. I see them now as changelings dropped on the losing side in an immortal war into these hostile, at best indifferent dimensions, maliciously or for concealment. No wonder I so often spied them trying to flicker out of our cruelty. I see them too as medieval stragglers, strung out beggars going village to village on a rope, each one a suffering bead in the barbed wire rosary that circled their existences, each one playing a role like hunger, penitence, misery, and doom. Extras in a travelling pageant they didn't understand, they didn't care for, to which they weren't quite committed. You contradicted. You were love and you were rage, imagination's crazy fate, all tomorrow's sustenance and glory, the undefeated forward flow of hope and all-inclusive energy. What was not there but badly wanted, you created, and you are a totem and a tower and a deity to me. You used to whoop and lasso as brazen and loud as you could from up front as ye all went by together, all ye brothers and ye sisters, and you, I see you, urging the smallest, the wheeziest, the last, whoever downhearted was falling behind, to get up and ride, get up and ride, get up and ride into the oncoming wind as hard as they could on one of your herd of, one of your herd of, one of your herd of invisible horses. Thank you.